Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a lot of things to a lot of people. For some, it's gambling, or parties, or pools, maybe golf, or restaurants, or bachelor parties. I know that one from experience. There is one time every year when I know I will be in the Valley, and it's not for the Super Bowl or some festival. It's the unofficial trade show for the entertainment industry, the NAB show. And I'm going to tell you why, no matter what you do in entertainment, it might behoove you to be here. How to make the most of your time at the show, and how jackpots can happen at the convention too. Again, I know this one from experience. Guys, dust off the Rat Pack on Spotify, and ladies, put on that dress you can only wear here as we walk the strip on this episode of Roadshow.
Hey everybody, it's Cory and welcome to Roadshow. So I am here in Las Vegas, Nevada, wearing my Ovi jersey, which has been quite popular today. And we're here for the NAB show. It is a trade show centered around film, television, radio, anything that relates to broadcasting, because this is the National Association of Broadcasters show. What you find inside these walls is everything that you would need to make a production, from cameras, lights, sound, broadcast infrastructure, satellite dishes, back-end things. Everything you could possibly need is here. And to be honest, it's a big thing. It's a big thing to go through the show every year. So I wanted to give you sort of the way that I'm doing it, and you can follow along throughout the course of this video. So the first day, this is Sunday, and my first day here is all dedicated to just sort of walking around, getting a lay of the land. There's, in the West Hall, a lot of stuff that sort of doesn't relate to anything that I do. So that usually takes almost no time at all to roll through there and just check out things. Here in the North Hall this year are a lot of the people that, a lot of the companies that I work with a lot. So this is where I'm going to be. And there's also the South Hall, which has more stuff. So the goal is basically day one, check it out. Day two, drill down, see whatever I haven't seen already. And day three, clean up anything else that I haven't gotten answers to, any things I don't have solutions to. That's where I'm going to go find that out. And then throughout the entire event, there's networking events, there's parties, there's all sorts of stuff like that. So that'll be a part of the ordeal as well. I come here with three main goals. So first is my work as a sound mixer. So anything related to sound mixing, new wireless, new recorders, new time code, new everything like that. It's very important that I keep up to breast with everything that's going on there. Secondarily, I have the which I won here at NAB last year. So anything that relates to making that run better for me, get that up and running more. And then finally, my third area of focus, anything that relates to this channel and making things work better, because right now I'm shooting this on my phone. I'm talking into the speaker on my phone, the microphone on my phone. So, it's a little low tech, and let's see what we can do about improving that for you guys. And all of that is available here, so I will be able to get answers to everything and anything and let you know all about it.
In the past, I wouldn't recommend that actors, directors necessarily need to go, but in the times we live now, where everyone needs to have a large knowledge base and the ability to create content, I think it is an overall benefit. Honestly, the only people I can think of on film sets that wouldn't really need to get anything from the convention would be vanities, because there's no hair, makeup, or wardrobe to speak of. Art department, people could skip it as well. And anyone who has a job on set that isn't strictly a film job, like caterer or set medic. Even Rob, a screenwriter, found inspiration in what was available and started applying things he learned there to the scripts he wrote. The more likely you are to order from B&H or a store like it, the more likely you should be there. The goal is really twofold, with number one being walking the show floor and checking out all that there is. When you find something you need to drill down on or make questions of people who made it. Second, it's a low-key networking opportunity with people who work all over the industry in a location that allows for fun and casual interactions. One more caveat before I give you a game plan. If you haven't been to Las Vegas and Siegfried and Roy, know that it's expensive nowadays, and it isn't worth planning a trip to NAB if it's going to hurt you financially. That being said, there are ways to save here and there, and I'll share those tips with you as we go. Before you even leave for Nevada, make a list of the things you really want answers to when you get to the show, because it's so much easier once you get there. Another thing to do before the trip is to check places like Eventbrite for NAB events, because someone might have something planned within the community you run with, and you want to reserve your space before it fills up. So planning the trip, I'm coming from LA, so I drove to Vegas with fellow mixer Brian. I had several months back booked a room at Planet Hollywood for the both of us, with the plan to split the travel and room costs in an effort to save some money. Planet Hollywood was not the cheapest option available, but for 10-ish more dollars a night, we could get a much better room in a more central location. For me, it's beneficial to focus on convenient monorail access, because for my money, the monorail makes the most sense for getting back and forth to the convention center. You can get a cheaper room, usually at like Luxor or Excalibur, but there is extra time to getting to the monorail in MGM, and often enough, the price that you pay between a place like Flamingo and Horseshoe can be negligible, and it's worth the easy monorail access. You are going to be walking a lot when you are here, so it is best to save the steps if you don't need to take them if you can help it. That night, there is a party I sign up for, and Brian and I go and make an appearance at. We take what we learned today and add it to the list of things we have planned for the day of focus. Monday is the day of focus. It was about getting answers to the questions you might have, because this might be a chance to find out something you won't ever be able to find out online. One of the best things is that nearly all the gear at the show is set up in a way that you can test it yourself there on the show floor. And depending on how your interactions go, you might be able to talk yourself into a show special deal. Or I've also been offered free rentals from stores in LA where the company will provide the gear so I can test drive it with my own kit. More than anything, you build up a contact within the company that could be valuable to you one day in the future. After this day, I feel I have the answers to my questions and a better sense of my moves going forward, but also a ton of ideas and things to explore for the future. Specifically for the sound part of my filmmaking life, you get an idea of where you invest over the next year, over the next 5 years, the 5 years after that. And what's great is that later that night on Monday was the Sound Mixer meetup, and it was just a wonderful opportunity to see everyone and to talk shop. You ask everyone what they saw and what they liked, and you get a chance to really battle test your plans, because this is a room of the most knowledgeable location sound professionals and people who have decades of experience. This is often my favorite day because it feels full of clarity and knowledge.
Day 2 of NAB. I just arrived here at the Convention Center South Hall. This is where we have like a lot of black magic, a lot of streaming stuff this year. So this is where I'm going to be looking at a lot of stuff for, like shooting on the go, and definitely a lot of stuff to go with. Really looking forward to seeing what they got. Let's go.
Tuesday will be my last full day at the convention. Usually the last day is filled with people breaking down and leaving. So while you can still go to it on Wednesday, it's not the same as the rest of the show. So the second to last day, Tuesday, becomes your last chance to see things you might not have found time for, or often taking something I learned from the Sound Mixer meetup and asking one of the vendors some follow-up questions. To be honest, the highlight of the day for me was going to Bagel Mania and getting lunch. By that time, I had already seen all I needed to see, and I was done what I needed to be done at the convention center. There was a closing night event at a nightclub, but I skipped it for dinner with the boys. While I mentioned it there, I think the thing I would skip if you were coming to NAB would be the nightly events at various nightclubs around town. While it is definitely worth experiencing a Vegas nightclub if you have never, there is no convention or networking at these events, and a beer can cost you $30+. So if you were down for that, I am not going to stop you, but for me, I would rather turn that $30 into some food. One last thing I'm sure you're wondering, what does this event cost? If I add up my admission cost of NAB since 2019, when I first went until now, I have totaled $0. Every year, I get an email from NAB offering me a free exhibit pass, and I take them up on that offer. That being said, they do offer extra, like classes and programs that might be beneficial for you. Every year, they have a speaker or two I would go check out, but it was never worth the upgraded pass for me. But again, you may find that valuable. Just know to get in there, you don't need to pay, but you need to be registered. What would a Vegas story be without the time that you got that jackpot? And no, this has nothing to do with gambling. Last year, when I attended NAB, I signed up for a party that was being thrown by someone I had worked with before. I thought the event sounded cool, but I also wanted to be...
Good morning, everyone. So it's my birthday this morning, and last night I was telling you I went to the black magic party, and of course, like a dum-dum, because I don't think to do it, I didn't really record anything that happened at the party. You weren't really missing much. If you know what a social gathering around bowling looks like, there you go. But a big thing about these events at NAB is that sometimes they have raffles where different film brands will give out an item of theirs, and I won last night. And to put it in Vegas parlance here, I hit the jackpot. So it was the black magic party. I got myself an Ursa viewfinder, which is a very nice item. I also, as part of this, won the shoulder kit. And last but not least, Ursa Mini Pro 12K camera. Guys, this is Netflix approved to go on their air. This is a serious camera. Last night I was shell-shocked. Rio took a video of me when I was taking it all in, and well, this is that. But yeah, happy birthday to me, huh? It is our last day, Wednesday here. The convention is still happening, but this last day is usually kind of weird. If you really need to go back and see something, you go back and see something. But for the most part, even though today is technically the last day, people have already really started packing up. There's some things that other people are going to, conventions and stuff that are all over the world. So this is just the season for that. But I'm here staying by the hotel room. It's wild. This particular hotel room, I was last in last year for my bachelor party. This exact hotel room. A couple years ago, I was in this exact hotel room for NAB when I came with Rob and Roberto. I feel like every time I stay here, they give me the same suite. Before I left, I wanted to show you one cool thing I did walk away from the show with, and it's not even anything about like a new piece of gear or anything like that. It's not the Blackmagic camera. I talked about that already. This is something so simple, yet so incredible. Let me show you. So, at one of the booths, they were showing off a printer, and they printed out this poster-sized version of Thomas Edison's patent for the kinetoscope. You can see there, reissued September 30th, 1902. This is the reason for Hollywood. If it wasn't for Thomas Edison having a patent on the kinetoscope, trying to get people to pay a usage fee to be able to use his cameras and film people not wanting to do that, led to everyone going across the country to California, where it was harder for Thomas Edison to sue you. So it's just one of those things, you know, we're shooting movies in front of large TV screens, essentially. Like if you're talking about like the volume, when they shoot The Mandalorian or anything like that. VR sets where you can walk around in a fully created environment. Just you're in front of a green screen, but it's like you're on the top of K2 or something like that. These are all things that are part of the constant growth of this industry. And these new tools, these new things that we create and develop, it's all for where we're going to be in the future. And to understand where we are going to be in the future, we have to have a deep appreciation for where we came from and how we got here. How I got here, I drove from LA to Vegas, and now it's time to drive back. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to see you next time. Please do all the YouTube things you want to do. I don't hold it against you if you don't, but I will see you next time. Bye.